Chapter 22. And Jesus, talking to them again in stories, said, The kingdom of heaven is like a certain king, who made a feast when his son was married, and sent out his servants to get in the guests to the feast, and they would not come.
耶稣又用故事对他们说，天国好像一个王，在他儿子出嫁的时候，设了一个筵席，就打发仆人去叫客人来赴宴，他们却不肯来。
Again he sent out other servants, with orders to say to the guests, See, I have made ready my feast, my oxen and my fat beasts have been put to death, and all things are ready, come to the feast.
他又打发仆人出去，吩咐客人说，我的筵席已经预备好了，我的牛和肥羊已经宰了，一切都预备好了，可以来赴宴了。
But they gave no attention, and went about their business, one to his farm, another to his trade, and the rest put violent hands on his servants, and did evil to them, and put them to death.
他们却不理会，个人去做自己的事，一个做自己的田，一个做自己的买卖。其余的人对他的仆人施暴，对他们作恶，把他们处死了。
But the king was angry, and he sent his armies, and those who had put his servants to death he gave to destruction, burning down their town with fire. Then he said to his servants, The feast is ready, but the guests were not good enough.
王就发怒，打发人去，把那些杀他仆人的人给灭了，用火烧了他们的城。于是对仆人说，筵席已经预备好了，只是客人不够好。
Go then to the crossroads, and get all those whom you see to come to the bride feast. And those servants went out into the streets, and got together all those whom they came across, bad and good, and the feast was full of guests.
就往十字路口去，叫你所看见的人都来参加新妇的筵席。那些仆人就到街上去，把所遇见的人，无论好坏，都叫来了。
But when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man who had not on a guest's robe, and he says to him, Friend, how came you in here not having a guest's robe? And he had nothing to say.
筵席上就有许多客人，国王进去看客人，见有一个人没有穿客人的袍子，就对他说，朋友，你没有穿客袍，怎么进来的？他却无话可说。
Then the king said to the servants, Put cords round his hands and feet and put him out into the dark. There will be weeping and cries of sorrow. For out of all to whom the good news has come, only a small number will get salvation.
王就对仆人说，用绳索拴住他的手和脚，把他放在暗处，必有哭声和哀嚎声，因为这好消息传到的人中，只有少数人得着救恩。
Then the Pharisees went and had a meeting to see how they might make use of his words to take him.
法利赛人就去开了会，看怎样利用他的话来拿他。
And they sent to him their disciples, with the Herodians, saying, Master, we see that you are true, and that you are teaching the true way of God, and have no fear of anyone, because you have no respect for a man's position.
他们打发他们的门徒和希律的人去见他，说，师傅，我们看你是真的，你所教导的是神的真道，并不惧怕任何人，因为你不尊重人的地位。
Give us, then, your opinion of this. Is it right to give tax to Caesar, or not? But Jesus saw their trick and said, O false ones, why are you attempting to put me in the wrong?
那么，请你给我们讲讲你的看法，把税交给凯撒是对的，还是不对的？耶稣看出他们的诡计，就说，假的人哪，你们为什么企图陷害我呢？
Let me see the tax money. And they gave him a penny. And he said to them, Whose is this image and name on it? They say to him, Caesar's. Then he said to them, Give to Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and to God the things which are God's.
让我看看税金。他们就给他1文钱。他对他们说，这项和上面的名是谁的呢？他们对他说，是凯撒的。他就对他们说，凯撒的东西归给凯撒，神的东西归给神。
And hearing it, they were full of wonder, and went away from him. On the same day there came to him the Sadducees, who say that there is no coming back from the dead. And they put a question to him, saying,
他们听了这话，满心稀奇，就离开他去了。同一天，有撒都该人到他那里去，说死人是不能复生的，就问他说
Master, Moses said, If a man, at the time of his death, has no children, let his brother take his wife, and get a family for his brother.
主人，摩西说，一个人死的时候，若没有儿女，就让他的弟兄娶他的妻子，为他的弟兄成家。
Now there were among us 7 brothers, and the first was married and at his death, having no seed, gave his wife to his brother, in the same way the second and the third, up to the seventh. And last of all the woman came to her end.
现在我们中间有7个兄弟，第一个结了婚，死的时候没有子嗣，就把他的妻子给他哥哥。第二个、第三个，直到第7个，也是这样。
When they come back from the dead, then, whose wife will she be of the 7? Because they all had her. But Jesus said to them in answer, You are in error, not having knowledge of the writings, or of the power of God.
最后那女人也到了尽头。那么，当他们从死里复活的时候，她将成为7个人中谁的妻子呢？因为他们都有她。耶稣回答他们说：你们没有认识圣经，也没有认识神的大能，是错了。
For when they come back from the dead there are no husbands and wives, but they are as the angels in heaven. But about the dead coming back to life, have you no knowledge of what was said to you by God in the writings?
因为他们从死里复活的时候，没有丈夫和妻子，而是像天上的天使一样。但关于死人复生的事，难道你们不知道神在经文中对你们说的吗？
I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead but of the living. And the people hearing it were surprised at his teaching.
我是亚伯拉罕的神，是以撒的神，是雅各的神。上帝不是死人的上帝，而是活人的上帝。众人听见这话，就稀奇他的教训。
But the Pharisees, hearing how the mouths of the Sadducees had been stopped, came together, and one of them, a teacher of the law, put a question to him, testing him, and saying,
但法利赛人听见撒都该人的口怎样被拦住，就聚集来了。其中有一个教律法的，就问他，试探他说
Master, which is the chief rule in the law? And he said to him, Have love for the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest rule.
主人，律法中哪一条是主要的规矩呢？他说，你要尽心、尽性、尽意的爱主你的神，这是第一条，也是最大的规矩。
And a second like it is this, have love for your neighbor as for yourself. On these two rules all the law and the prophets are based.
第二条也是如此，就是要爱你的邻舍如同爱你自己。所有的律法和先知都以这2条规则为基础。
Now while the Pharisees were together, Jesus put a question to them, saying, What is your opinion of the Christ? Whose son is he? They say to him, The son of David.
现在法利赛人在一起的时候，耶稣问他们说，你们对基督有什么看法？他是谁的儿子？他们说，是大卫的儿子。
He says to them, How then does David in the Spirit give him the name of Lord, saying, The Lord said to my Lord, Be seated at my right hand, till I put under your feet all those who are against you.
耶稣说，那大卫在灵里怎么给他起了主的名？说，主对我主说，你坐在我右边，等我把一切反对你的人放在你脚下。
If David then gives him the name of Lord, how is he his son? And no one was able to give him an answer, and so great was their fear of him, that from that day no one put any more questions to him.
大卫既然给他起了主的名，他怎么是他的儿子呢？没有人能够回答他，他们对他的惧怕如此之大，从那日起，没有人再向他发问。